It's a bull. Boy, that coin likes bulls. Hey, what's up? Good morning. This is Brian Kuzmar with Commercial Rare Coins and Precious Metals in beautiful Lauderdale by the Sea. Take a look at, gosh, I say this all the time. I love this cam. This is the Deerfield Beach underwater cam. Saw a bunch of snook out here just kind of moving around, but wow, what a great day to be watching this camera. For sure. Well, good morning Monday. Let's see what's happening with today's markets. I thought we'd see some monkey hammering. However, I think we're into the summer doldrums somewhat here. Kids are going back to school. People are gearing up for that. Economies are coming back online. People are on their summer vacations or coming back from their vacations. So, I believe that we're going to see quietness this time of year, every year in precious metals pretty much. However, I do believe that we're still going to see some monkey hammering going on. Didn't happen today though. And let's look at the overnight market. $17.99 on gold, $18.12 the high. Currently sitting at $18.0292. Same thing with silver, holding on to that above that $25 mark, $25.45 the high overnight during the. I'm sorry, world spot prices overnight. Currently $25.25. And platinum sitting at 1,067. As I said, we talk about these prices every morning, and I just kind of go over the highs and the lows. But anything sub $2,000 gold, you're fine. So if your check didn't come in yet that you're waiting to buy precious metals with, you got time, man. It's not. I don't believe we're going to see any skyrocketing prices anytime here soon. More than likely, we'll see it coming towards the end of the year here. Tough to say though. You never know what kind of events could pop up that'll just take the prices of metals and send them skyward. Let's take a look at, and as I said many times, one day you will look at, even though we're not at $2,000 gold right now, not at $30 silver, and we're not at $1,000 platinum, one day you will look at sub $2,000 gold and say, God, I remember when it was below 2,000, just like the guys that say they remember when it was below 500 and below 300, and the guys out there that remember when gold used to be $150 an ounce. Same thing with silver. One day you're going to look back and say, man, I remember when silver was 30 bucks an ounce. Just like the guys that say they remember when silver was $1.50 an ounce and $3 an ounce. Guys like myself, I remember when it was $3 an ounce. I remember when it was $9 an ounce. I remember when it was $15 an ounce. We're in new territory now, and we're going to continue to move into new territory. That's what happens with declining empires and fiat currencies. It just happens, folks. And there's people that get into metals expecting to get rich quick. They don't understand that really it's primarily about wealth preservations with the ability to make a lot of money as well. But if they view it strictly as a way to preserve wealth, because you certainly can't preserve wealth. It's hard to do right now. There's too many casinos out there. I mean, Wall Street's a casino. The housing market seems like a casino somewhat. All these markets seem like casinos. They seem like they're at epic all-time highs. All the markets except for precious metals. And they seem like they're in such bubble territory. I mean, what are you going to do? Invest in properties, and then have that whole market take a shit on you? Or same thing with equities right now. Where are you going to put your money? You can't put it in banks. Won't be long before they're going to be giving you sub-zero or charging you to put money in the bank. That's probably not too far off in distance. So where do you put your money for wealth preservation? Bitcoin? That's a joke, and I mean that too. That is a joke. I see a place for electronic fiat down the road, but again, it's just too volatile. The volatility of that's just insane. You hear for a while there when the markets are going up. This is true in every market: gold, silver, equity markets, housing markets. When the market's going up, everyone's a freaking genius. That all changes when the market goes down. Let's see who's left standing. That's the whole thing. As far as cryptos, didn't leave many people standing except for the people that were in there manipulating that market. The big whales. The ones that everybody was so happy to see get into the cryptocurrency markets. They're the ones that'll shake out all the small guys, and they have already. Let's take a good article here done by ZH, and I'm going to go over this here. Time to buy gold as a hedge against extreme financial leverage. This is Credit Suisse saying this. Now, you might expect them to say this, but it's been a while since Wall Street banks recommended anything to do with gold or silver stocks, but in a surprising reversal last week, one of Wall Street's biggest bulls, Credit Suisse, said that time has come to use gold stocks as a risk-off diversifier while seeing material upside for the precious metals. I'm not going to go into the numbers here, specific numbers, because it's kind of boring. And they're looking at stocks to Newmont, Endeavor Mining, Perseus, Regis. Now, I never talk about mining stocks because, quite frankly, it's not my specialty. I'm not going to pretend I know something I don't. I know as much as the next guy probably as far as mining stocks go. Here's what I do know about mining stocks is that sometimes people give you the illusion that you are buying gold and silver in mining stocks or platinum, whatever the mine may be. You are not. You are not. Many times, many of these mines have already pre-sold their production or whatever. But besides that point, you're not buying the gold and silver in the mine necessarily. You are buying a company, a corporation. So, how that company is run is very important as well. Again, you're really buying a company. You're not really buying the mine per se. You're buying a company. So if you have a company in mining stocks that can produce profit, produce metals, produce profit, and keep their costs down relatively low, not overpay their people or their CEOs, then you probably got a fairly good mining company. And a lot of mining companies that these guys mentioned right here, they have been around forever. They're known as they're probably the top 10 mining companies out there. But remember, you're not necessarily buying the price. You're buying the company, the factory. And the thing with mining stocks is it's such a small little industry, or not small industry, but it's such a small part of stocks that once you start to see money flow into those stocks, it's like Bitcoin. I mean, the more people that buy into it, the more it raises up the price. And that, again, it's not necessarily the price of the metal when you're buying mining stocks. If you know more about it, feel free to comment, or if I missed something, feel free to comment below. As far as the metal itself, the Swiss bank notes that it is also at the bottom end of its 10-year range against silver or industrial commodities and 20% its 2011 peak in real terms. I find it interesting that they feel that it's at the bottom end of its 10-year range against silver. That's kind of interesting. Is it because silver kind of jumped up from that mid-15s, that 12-15 range, and now we're sitting at that pretty solid 25 range, and gold really hasn't done much since then? I don't think so. I'm kind of curious what they mean by this. Anybody got an idea? Please make a comment below. Love to read it. Let me take a look at this gold versus silver. Let's take a look at the chart. Maybe I can figure it out from here. Gold to silver ratio versus industrial metals. Gold is still below its inflation adjusted peak. Okay, I kind of get it there. I see the relevance of what he's talking about. According to the Swiss model, the price of gold is driven by the TIPS yield and the dollar. Why does this matter? Recently, the gold price has lagged the fall in TIPS yield. Should be 5% higher. Look at TIPS yields. This gets into more technical data, folks, and I did find it kind of interesting that they said that the price of gold is driven by TIPS yields and the dollar. I want to look into TIPS yields. Tip yields here and see exactly what that means and what that references to. And the dollar, well, is driven by the dollar. Well, that's pretty astute, actually, if you think about it. It's driven by a fiat currency. That's what's driven gold to continue to go up against, Gresham's law. What is it? Bad money will drive out good money. So more or less, people are going to be buying gold, not wanting to hang on to fiat currencies like dollars and pesos and rubles and whatever, yuans and whatever hell you have it. Even if they're electronic, they're not going to want to hold on to them. So people are going to hoard gold as more time goes on, and silver as well. I digress again. We're reading this article here. As for the dollar, CS remains structural bears the last time. Okay, again, technical stuff. There was something down here that I wanted to show you, and let me see if maybe it's in the next article coming up. And forgive me, I don't really pre-script these shows. I kind of just... this was interesting. Dig deeper into this. Credit Suisse, because Credit Suisse was saying they didn't see people going into cryptos for a couple different reasons. They felt that gold was going to be the benefiter of future, when people start getting fearful and start putting their money into things they feel are safe. Gold will be one of those places. Cryptocurrencies will not, or Bitcoin will not. And here's their reasons right here. Environmental impact. Now, I don't know what this really means. This could be nonsense or not. Some of you crypto guys will let me know. Cryptos tend to be mined in countries with low cost of electricity, which is typically coal-fired, Russia and Mongolia. And Bitcoin consumes 125.12 trillion watts of hour each year. Wow. According to Gigi Economist, notes that I don't know exactly what that has to do with why people won't go into Bitcoin, because most people don't. Someone that would complain about Bitcoin using up energy is the same person that's driving the escalator. So they don't care about the gas or environment. They're the same people spraying pesticides on their lawn because they hate bugs or inside their house, killing the entire. Anyways, I digress. I'm not going to go there. Social. Let's look at social. They think that people won't go into cryptos because of social. Various media reports have cited the potential for cryptos to be used to facilitate serious social issues. For instance, Financial Times said the rise of crypto laundries, how criminals cash out of Bitcoin. I also think that's bullshit. I think that's listen, I am not a crypto hater. I think that there's a place for it. I love competition of the U.S. dollar. Anything that competes with official government dollars, so to speak. Anything that competes with the peso. Anything that competes with fiat currency. Even if it might be a fiat, like cryptos are. I'm all for it. I'm all for more competition. That's what capitalists do. We promote more, But you have to look at things for what they really are. As far as environmental impact, as far as social. But then again, Credit Suisse is saying what they think that why people won't go into crypto. So I'll be fair and say there are people that are concerned about the environmental impact and the social impact. Well, a lot of people forget that Bitcoin really got its biggest publicity from Silk Road. Remember the Silk Road deal, the big, the underground website that was using crypto with Bitcoin to facilitate drug deals and hitmen and all that stuff. That's really where I heard about cryptocurrencies at first, kind of, So crypto is kind of, especially Bitcoin, got its start in the publicity in the media realm in the Silk Road and in the underground stuff. But again, I got to be honest with you. I think most Americans, us being the cowboys that we are, would find that more appealing. That we can hide stuff from, you know how people are in America. We are kind of rebels without a cause sometimes. And I think most people like the idea of that they can have something that the government doesn't like. I think that's an appeal. But no less, the governments are really full on right now trying to make us all look at cryptos like, Saddam Hussein himself created them, or he may have, who knows with Bitcoin, but trying to give us the impression that, anybody that people that use Bitcoin are evil, awful people. Now, they could do that with gold, too. They could do that with, look, they're doing it with people that don't get their shots now. Well, they're evil, awful people. So, they could do that with anything. So I don't think that's a great thing. There are tax issues. Here we go. They don't believe that cryptocurrency can make it hard for governments to levy taxes. Well, I think that's a very honest assessment. I believe that's true. But however, I've been talking about it for a long time that I think the cryptos are really an experiment to get people used to the rollout of a cashless society that the governments all want, and the Fed wants to. They want the ability to not have you have your own paper dollars, which you can stash or put somewhere or give to someone without them knowing. They want to know where every frickin' penny you have is and where it goes. That's a fact, folks. And that's the thing, that if they ever roll out their own digital currencies, federal banks, privacy will be zero. The moment you owe IRS money, or if you had to pay your electric bill and food for the kids, guess who's going to get paid first? The IRS, because they're going to take it right out of your crypto, or whatever the frick you want to call it, wallet, your digital Fed wallet, or whatever you want to call it. But hey, that's, if you've been watching my videos, that's my opinion here. Strong one too. The threat to the monetary supremacy, that's absolutely true. This is the real issue right here. This is why the Federal Reserve and the government hates cryptocurrencies. They don't like gold either, but they have to like gold because they need to use it themselves. Where do you think they put all their money? Gold. So tax issues, threat to monetary supremacy. And this is it. If I could say one thing about cryptos, and I have over and over for the last years, it's governments and banks hate competition, and they write the rules, folks. And I'll move on to this one. They have any characteristics of currency. I won't go into that. Cryptos in general are not a unit of account. They're not scalable. They are not an asset. I agree with 100% with all those. Those are all true. A lot of people try to spin it that they are. However, I think the guys that really understand cryptos have made money in cryptos. Again, if you know how a game is rigged, you know how the game is played, you can make money in it. There's some successful crypto guys out there. I got to admit there are. And kudos to them. They've done a great job. However, most people are clueless, and the crypto guys will tell you the same thing. The experts in the crypto field will tell you that most crypto investors are clueless. So And a lot of these clueless people are the ones that are out there spewing all this bad information. Same thing happens in silver markets too, though, in gold markets. You see it all over YouTube. And you especially see it on corporate media. Corporate media, again, if you listen to corporate media when it comes to precious metals, you will go broke. Let's see what else we got rolling on here. By the way, beautiful day out. Just peered out the window. My attention span went a little bit off there. What a lovely day. We didn't get all that rain either this weekend, did we? Central bank digital currencies could be an alternative. Well, I believe 100% that nearly all major central banks are looking into this. Meanwhile, the Bahamas already started to issue its sand dollar, digital version of the Bahamian dollar. Well, they're already doing it in the Bahamas, so here you go, folks. It's the beginning of it. You have to reject it, though. Remember, you need to reject these digital coins or these digital wallets coming out from the Fed. They're going to push it down our throats like they've done a lot of things. But you need to reject this. You need to fight this. There needs to be a revolution against digital monies. Otherwise, my future will be okay, but I think your kids' future will be pretty much dystopian. That's my opinion. Potential regulation. Well, they could have hired me to write this. I basically wrote most of this stuff. Potential regulation. This is what I've been saying for a long time. And again, if I had to write one thing to explain why Bitcoin and these things will not be future currencies, it'll be bad places to put your money. It'd be that one paragraph, that one little sentence. Banks and governments hate competition. That's it. That's all you need to know. That's my opinion. Let's move along to a good article, by the way, in ZH. Time to buy gold as a hedge against extreme financial deleveraging. Credit Suisse says. Good article, worthwhile reading in ZH. What other articles are out there? Infographic, paper silver versus physical silver. I thought this was pretty cool here. It's done by Bullion Star, whoever they are, and they did a good job, by the way, on their infographic. Paper silver versus physical silver. Some of it's real simple. Most of us know this, but I like visual things too, and you probably do as well. That's why we like our fish video at the beginning. Visual. The paper silver market is 243 times larger than the physical silver market. Well, we know that because the physical silver market is the dog, the paper market is the tail, and the tail has been wagging the dog for quite some time. We're hoping that changes at some point, and when it does, the people holding the paper, it'll blow up in their faces, those poor people. Likely, all the big corporations will already have all the suckers, i.e. you and me and other people, into these paper derivative silver, and they'll burn them. So that's who will get burned in the long run. But no less, like to see people buying physical. Keep buying the physical, folks. 7,300,000 tons of paper silver traded annually in London and on COMEX, and 30,000, 60 tons annual physical silver supply. Very interesting. Versus paper versus what they actually have. 0.4% of the annual volume. Well, you know what? More or less. This is just telling you what bullshit LBMA and COMEX is. I'm telling you, folks, LBMA and COMEX are a scam. And that's my opinion, and a lot of opinions by a lot of other people that are in this business. It's a scam. They don't have the metal to cover what they claim they do. As far as when it comes to gold and silver markets, these people, my opinion, LBMA and New York COMEX people should be in jail. But the problem is that they're operating, working for these large corporations who some people, including myself, Ted Butler, believe are operating for the U.S. government. And I believe that silver may not be too far different. I think that, as I said, the Chinese have been trying to keep down the prices of iron, aluminum, and what was the other metal? I forget. So 3 metals. So basically what they did is they just killed the prices of those metals in China to keep the price cheap for their manufacturers, to try to keep inflation down. Now they just did this outright because they're the Chinese communists. They don't need an explanation. They just say we're going to do this and this is the way it's done. U.S. government operates in the same way, except they do it behind closed doors, which I don't think is really any better. So behind closed doors, I believe the U.S. government saying, listen, we can't let the price of silver get too high. And the same thing with gold, because gold is the canary in the gold mine when it comes to finances in the U.S. dollar. So we can't let silver get too high. So I believe they allow this behavior, or they encourage these companies to go out and short, and they say, hey, listen, we'll cover you. You're not going to lose any money. Or you might make a lot of money doing this. So I honestly believe that's where the monkey hammering and manipulation comes in by LBMA and New York COMEX. And they're the facilitators of that crooked monkey hammering. That's just my opinion again. Paper trading versus physical silver, 250 to 1 versus, look, silver paper trading in COMEX is, look at that. 886 to 1 for every physical ounce that they sell. That's just amazing. And in London, it's 250 to 1, traded versus inventory, which means that what they're holding is a bag of shit, folks, with maybe a tiny bit of silver. That's it. That's it. And they're going to leave their clients holding a bag of shit one day, too. I'm sure of that. That's how these people operate. They don't take the losses. They pass them off to us. Physical silver and good article. I got it, not article. What am I going to say? Good visual. Pretty cool, and it's also on ZH. I think gata.org also has this on their page too. That's how good it was. It talks about industrial demand, investment demand, all the different types of demand. Photography, that's a joke. That's probably very limited to what stuff is used in photography. Silverware is not. That's the downside of some of these articles. They just go and they just click on some article and the guy puts it together and says, oh, photography. Very little is used in photography. Hardly anything is used in photography. Silverware, it's used. That's a joke. Hardly any silver is used in silverware. I wouldn't even put those two up there anymore. As far as jewelry, yeah, there's still a lot of jewelry out there made out of silver. Batteries, sure. Religious art, why would they put that up there too? I'd say the primary users are going to be electrical, biocides, electronics, photovoltaics, voltaics, I don't know how they have it spelled, and batteries. Those are going to be your primary uses of silver out there. And they have increased tenfold over the years because we are an electronic society. That's for sure. And again, that's why I believe that silver is really kind of unofficially a strategic metal, and they will not allow it to go too high, I don't believe. Well, how high is too high, actually? Storage of physical silver, that's one of the downsides. The nice thing about paper is you don't have to store it, but then again, what do you own with paper? Absolutely nothing. So physical silver is a monetary. I'm going to kind of skip over all this, and this is just kind of cool too. Many modern fiat currency names owe their origin to silver. The dollar comes from taler, a shortened version of taler. That's what the dollar was named after. A taler, shortened version of the. I'm not even going to try that one. Drachma silver coin, which is minted in Jacmestal, Bohemia. That's true. That's a true story. I know that being a numismatic guy. That's a fact. Pound sterling. Sterling is named after silver. The rupee derived from the Sanskrit word rupia, which means a wrought silver coin. Dinar owes origin to denarius, a small silver coin. Ruble, from the Russian verb rubit, to cut, where cutting from silver bars serves as a unit of weight and currency. And peso, whose name derived from the term pesos plata, means silver weight. So silver is money, folks. Was money, is money. Money was named after silver. Think about that. I mean, that's pretty important stuff to think about when you're holding that piece of paper in your hand or your digi wallet. China blast. Let's go over some quick news here, just see if there's anything here that's like a black swan event, that like a war in the Ukraine between the United States and Russia, which would be a black swan event, or China. I don't see any of that right here, though. We would have heard about that earlier, though. So China blasts U.S. singing as a man in it. This is not good. No less. Keeps the keeps the industrial complex going and keeps jobs in that field. Plain be very suspicious of banks declaring diversity. Gosh, geez, so much crazy stuff out here. Bitcoin slides as Tether execs reportedly face criminal probe. That's pretty interesting. I read that article. I don't know a lot about Bitcoins, but it seems like there could be some major fraud going on in one of those fixed type Bitcoin deals. And again, this is not good for the crypto markets overall. So that's kind of a black swan event potentially for cryptos as well. So they could see lower prices coming up because of things like that. Everyone is in the crosshairs. Crackdown, blah, blah, blah. Watch Rand Paul. Oh, you go, Rand. I got to tell you, I like that guy. I hope he runs. Bitcoin, that's just my opinion. Didn't mean to throw some political stuff in there. Bitcoin holds gains after massive short liquidation event. And apparently, I guess the shorts got out there, and it looks like it jumped up about $9,000. But Bitcoin went from, 30 to 9 in a short period of time. Take a look at that graph real quick. And this is why it will never be money, folks. Take a look at that. Wow. What caused that? Well, I tell you what caused that. A whale, W-H-A-L-E. the whales that in an fairly unregulated market, and again, I remember when all the friends of mine were getting Bitcoin and stuff, they were saying, "Oh man, look, the big guys are coming in. That's great." And I was saying, "Listen, guy, listen, my friends, that is not great. You don't want the whales coming, especially in an unregulated market." And you see what they did. They get you all to buy up here. They get all the little guys to buy up here, and then they do this in the opposite. They'll go like bang, and they'll just bang it down. They do it with gold and silver, but it's much harder for them to do it with gold and silver. They can't do it to this extreme in gold and silver. They can do these little choppy events with silver and gold, but they can't do this with silver and gold. Too regulated, and they'd be hurting themselves mostly. In this market, they don't care. So buyer beware when it comes to crypto markets. What else is on here? Not too much. China, blah, blah, blah. Another coup. Not good for the French, especially, I think. And, well, I'm not saying for the French, but Tunisia. That's on the northern of Africa, I believe. So, any kind of problems in Africa is going to be bad for the French, especially North Africa. Let's see, brilliant police sees, blah, blah, blah. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Alleged crypto money from laundering scheme from crypto. Again, this is just, bankers and government wanting to trash crypto. So, and there's a reason for that. I'm not quite sure. I keep thinking, like I said, they're going to roll out their own. They're going to say, look, you can deal in this safely. There's no criminals in it. However, I believe that a vast majority of people will reject official government coins or cryptos unless they're absolutely forced to take them. And I believe that's where they're probably going to go. They're trying to force sticking stuff into your veins right now. What would be the big deal about them forcing you to accept their different money? Nothing. But meanwhile, I'm hoping for a revolution, big peaceful one. Let's move along here. Nothing really good in the news there to talk about. GATA.org, what's going on here? Same thing. There's that bullion star infographic, and this was kind of interesting. I read this, and this is true. Again, I've talked about this on this show many times. Is that these big banks like Morgan, J.P. Morgan, at Chase, they manipulate these markets in a huge way. They were manipulating the gold market for years and years and years, and people were pointing it out and to the media, and the media said, corporate media go, "Oh no, you're a tinfoil hat conspiracy." Where this is talking heads on CNN, Bloomberg, MSNBC, and government officials and regulators especially. "Oh no, this doesn't happen. This doesn't." And what happens? They get busted. JP Morgan gets busted, huge, big time. And that's not even the whole story. What I wanted to talk about. One second here. Let's kind of move into that and see. JP Morgan Chase admits its fourth and fifth felony charges. Board gives a $50 million. So they threw the traders under the bus. Okay. They threw the traders under the bus. They manipulated gold and silver market to the tunes of billions of dollars, probably cost small investors, and probably washed out a lot of new gold and silver people and caused them to lose money because they didn't understand the market, because Jamie Dimon and his band of fucking pirates is in there screwing with those markets. Excuse my language, that's my opinion though. And so they're in there manipulating markets, and they knew they would get caught, maybe, or maybe they didn't. Maybe they hoped they wouldn't get caught, but they had their cards, they already had the game figured out. Well, if we get caught, what's the worst that can happen? Jamie's thinking, I'm not going to go to jail. I'll just pay $1 billion out of our JP clients' funds money. We'll use our clients' funds money to pay for the billions that we made to get ourselves out of it. And then maybe a trader might go to jail because this guy right here, this dirtbag, will say, I didn't know anything about it. And he did. He benefited from it. In fact, he's going to make an extra $1 billion or $1 million, what the frick he's going to make. So a 1.5 million stock option to Demon. He's a demon, Diamond, whatever the frick his name is. But no less, these guys are evil. They really are. Too big to jail, too big to fail. And that's what we got going on. Crony capitalism at its greatest. Our government in bed with these people. And they are. Don't you ever forget that. Our video on Friday, man, video views are really low across the board. All the silver guys on YouTube, silver and gold people, seem to have very low views. My first summer, or actually it's my second summer, but last summer was very unique. As you know, And my views were very small then, so any views I got was like, wow. But I noticed that the views dropped off in half in about a month from now. And, well, last month, and I thought it might have been me, but not really. It's just across the board. Anybody talking about gold and silver. I haven't looked at the other videos from people, other hobbies and venues and stuff, but it seems like precious metal YouTubers have been pretty much hacked at the knees. I don't know. Is it purposeful, or is it just that time of year with summer and kids going to school? Or maybe just lack of interest, ho-hum with silver and gold? I don't know. What do you think? Make a mention in comments here, especially if you really do know. Is this typical to get lower views this time of year? I'm curious. Let's take a look at the comments over the video here on Friday's video. Not too many as well. I suspect a lot of people were having a good weekend doing something cool outside. I hope you were. Rob Clay, Zero Hedge is great. I think so. The nice thing about ZH, Rob, is that they provide different narrative and different opinions. The problem with corporate media is they provide you one viewpoint, one narrative, and that is usually, typically, always the official government narrative, the official narrative, which the media will parrot. Now, they occasionally have people come in, they'll say, hey, we're going to bring in someone that doesn't agree with this and thinks that this is not right. But they always make that person look like an idiot or like they're the minority or something like that. So corporate news is all about painting a narrative, the narrative that puts the most bucks in their advertising budget and the narrative of their favorite flavored government. That's my opinion. And I like ZH because, again, they give you different narratives. And if you're a smart person, you can tell the truth. You know what the truth is. You don't need some talking head or some corporate asshole telling you what the truth is. That's my opinion. Ex-Marine says, I've been in silver for 30 years. I'm not a newcomer. And silver, yeah, you've seen it too. I've seen silver go up from $1.50. I remember as a kid it being $1.50, $1.75. So I had my first silver dollar, I think, was priced at like $1.75 I ever owned. Not great. I gained maybe 25% on the whole. Not great for 30 years of waiting. But you know what, Ex-Marine, you are not. If you're buying silver savings, you may be old and gray like me, waiting for it to rise. Not really, sir. It's all about timing and everything like that. So in 30 years, so what would you have held on to instead of silver? Would you put it into a bank account, Ex-Marine? Probably not. You would have lost money. Would you put it into the stock market? You could have made a lot of money. Then again, you could have lost it all in 2008, made it back again, and lose it all again soon. You wouldn't have done so well. Where would you have put the money, Ex-Marine? I'm just asking you that as a question. Don't be upset about this. This is about what I've been talking about a long time, wealth preservation. Now, should you put all your money in gold and silver? Hell no. You should have a certain amount of money in the stock market. You should have a certain money you go to Las Vegas with once a year and gamble with. You should have a certain amount of money to do everything, be diversified. But to say that you put, no, I'm sorry, sir. That's not necessarily true. But the manipulation is in every market as well. Don't get discouraged, Ex-Marine. I'm telling you, relax. You're in a good metal. It's about wealth preservation. It's very possible, and you can't say this is not true, that you could have put that in some other investment and it would be completely gone now or worth less. It's about wealth preservation. Remember those two words, wealth preservation. Thanks for watching, Ex-Marine. Appreciate it, and you have yourself a great day, sir. Battleborn says, I'm a collector for some coins, but I'm waiting for the price of Eagles to come down. Premiums are coming down on Eagles. They definitely are. So, however, there's still better deals. I think even when the premiums come down, there'll still be better deals. Savoy Truffle says, you're not my real dad, so you can't tell me what to do. Oh, well, all right. I won't tell you what to do. I'll just make subtle suggestions. How's that? That's what you do with children that don't listen. So I'm only kidding, Savoy. Thanks for watching. And, hey, glad to see you picked up some 10s and 5s. Jedediah says, my first book was for saving coins was Lincoln Head. Yeah, I talked about that on, that's what Friday's show was about. Don't buy 2021 Silver Eagles because the premiums are too high, unless you're buying them to buy as a collector. I love Silver Eagles. I love American mint products. I'm just realistic about it. I've been dealing them in my whole life. So, if you listen to me, you're probably better off than listening to Joe Blow or the people that are trying to sell them to you. I'll give you the straight up truth. And they're overpriced as far as a silver investment. Now, as far as collectible goes, yeah, buy a few for your collection. Wait for the prices to come down. And if you want to know what I'm talking about, watch Friday's video. I explain this very well. Hey, thanks for watching, and nothing wrong with being a collector. I think that's great, sir. Ned Porkus says, greetings from Cali Coast. Keep doing what you're doing. A lot of pumpers out there in YouTube land. Hey, I see that too, sir. Thanks for sharing your experience and wisdom. Hey, thank you for watching. I don't think I'd do these if I didn't have people out there responding to me and watching. And I get a lot of people coming in the store too saying they like my videos, so it's nice to hear. I hope most of all I'm helping you guys learn more stuff and become better stackers. Joey from Seattle, nice to see you there. No rush for 2021 Eagles. I agree with you exactly. Austrian Philharmonics are selling for under 29 bucks. That's a good deal, sir. Buy them while you can. Ex-Marine, nice to see you. Oh, I just talked to you. Chris, hey, what's up? Took some fake fiat, put it towards some real money. Absolutely good to know. Eric says, headline caught my eyes. I bought 3 2021 proof type 2. Now, proofs are different, Eric. I agree. These are collector coins, so that's completely cool. I'm really cool with that. I love seeing, I'm a collector at heart, you are, but for people to go out there and buy a ton of these thinking they're making a silver investment at 73 bucks each, no, 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 no. And there's people that really do that, not you, sir. You're a collector, and that's pretty cool. And, oh, you flip one. For 150. Well, that's part of my video too. I was trying to tell people how you make a lot of money in modern mint products. How do you make a lot of money? Buy it, get it immediately, and sell it right away and buy it back cheaper 6 months later. That's how you make money in U.S. mint products. Ooh, over half my stack is pre-65s. Good to hear. Tree Climber, Michael, thanks. You just reminded me I need a sip of coffee. My throat is dry. Oh, you didn't miss a coin spin. Sorry about that. I did it at the end. I wasn't sure where to put that coin spin. I might do it at the beginning and end. I'll mix it up a little bit. Thanks for watching. Richie Howard says, I want to thank you for daily comments and always remind me to think for myself. Man, folks, that is cool. Thank you. That is good to hear because this is really the gist of what I'm talking about. Think for yourselves. Don't allow other YouTube videos to think for you, myself included. Don't let the corporate news do it. You need to think for yourself. All I'm trying to do is hand you some tools to think for yourselves. I don't want to think for you. Thinking for myself is enough responsibility and a big pain in the ass already. Thinking for someone else, forget about it. And hey, thanks for watching, Rich. Elvis, man, I knew Elvis was alive, and smashing the like button, but prefer the coin flip on the start of the video. Are you guys betting on my coin flip? I'm starting to wonder if there's a Las Vegas line and Elvis is out there making bets on my coin flips here with the other guys. Now, that's maybe why my coin flips popular. Thanks for watching, Elvis. Glad that you're still alive. Appreciate you commenting. Leroy goes back to Bernanke. You're absolutely right. I'd say it goes back to Watch the Briefcase Man Greenspan. It goes back to 1913. Absolutely, sir. You nailed it right on the spot. Thanks for watching, Leroy. Jekyll, hey, what's up? Yeah, 1990 gold spot was 320. It seemed like so much money, didn't it? This is what I've been talking about. At 320. I remember thinking, oh my God, like I am today. Oh wow, is it going to go down low or is it going to go down? No, you're going to look at today's gold prices like you're looking at 320 right now today, sir. Jedediah, hey, what's up? And hey, I think you should. There's a time to sell. Trust me. When gold and silver get into bubble territory, I'm going to tell you all to sell or sell some of your product. That'll be my opinion, at least, just my suggestion. You know, when you're in bubble territory, take some profit off the table, buy it back 6 months later for cheaper. That's the way you do it. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. And hey, if you would, if you're a new subscriber or you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button and hit that like button as well. I really appreciate that. It helps with the videos. And it helps with my ego. God, I'll admit it. So, deals with gold. Best deals out there are still gold bars. If you can pick up gold bars in that $70, $80 range, you know, and again, anybody buying quantity, you can get it cheaper than what I'm probably talking about right now. But I'm talking about guys that are buying 1 to 10 ounces of gold or less than 100 ounces of silver or less than 500. You try to be in that $70 to $80 range for gold bars, you know, Pamp Swiss, Perth Mint, Rand bars. Those are all good bars. Just make sure you're buying from a reputable dealer because there are fake bars out there. And don't get me wrong, there's fake Krugerrands and fake Eagles and all that stuff too. And one's not worse than the other when it comes to fakes. And as far as coins go, seems like KRs are the best deal out there. They're under $100 now. Total premium, same thing with Maples are hovering around 100. Eagles are still over $100. I don't advise buying them. The premium's too much in my opinion. There's better deals elsewhere. As far as silver deals, what's up with silver deals? Well, silver bars, 100-ounce bars, still the best deal out there. Next to 90% U.S. made by the U.S. Mint, dimes, quarters, and halves, ugly as hell, dirty, full of DNA and all that crap, but still made by the U.S. Mint, same people that make eagles, silver eagles, and it's cheap. And it's been around forever. It's a recognized form of trading in precious metals physicals, recognized by dealers all over the world. Good buy. Next to that, again, would be 1 ounce bars and 10 ounce bars and 100 ounce bars. I do not recommend buying silver eagles, still way overpriced. For collector-wise, yes, buy silver eagles, but unless you're a collector, stay the hell away from them until the premiums get down into that, in my opinion, $4 range. I think $4, less than $5 is more reasonable for silver eagles. 4 to 5. You know, when silver goes up to $100 an ounce, I can see a sliding scale on premiums going up, but not at this level, in my opinion. Oh boy, phone calls are starting already. And so that's my advice with silver as well. As far as where to buy it, hey, I'm a local brick and mortar store, so I can only sell to you if you're local. If you're not local, sorry about that. You're going to have to find a good local dealer near you. Now, I advertise locally to beat APMEX, JM, and SD. They're all good companies. However, because I'm a small company, my overhead's lower, I can beat their prices. I recommend you find a local dealer like me that can do that as well. Not because those are bad companies, but because I believe you should try to buy local. I don't care if it's tires or whatever it may be. Spend it in your town, keep it in your town. And if you can't do that in your town, do it in your county. If you can't do it in your county, find someone in the state that you can deal with. Keep that money in your state. It's very important. And, you know, a lot of local guys are competitive like me, so try to find a good local guy. Well, that is about it. This is Brian Kuzmar with Commercial Rare Coins and Precious Metals in beautiful Lauderdale by the Sea. We're open 10 to 4 Mondays through Fridays, brick and mortar, so we only deal face-to-face. But that's the beauty of it. You get to see somebody and you get to talk to somebody as well. You can't do that online. And happy to help you with whatever deals you have, and I really appreciate you watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe and like button again, and talk to you soon. See what happens tomorrow. Bye now.